Students, welcome back to the class. In the last session, we concluded chapter number 3 of economics. Today, we are going to start chapter number 4. At first, I would like to suggest you guys that you must pay proper attention while you are learning this one chapter because it is having the very high weightage in the board examinations. This chapter will bring you the weightage of 15 marks in the final examination, right? So it is quite crucial for that. Besides that, this is one of the chapter which is felt tough by the students all the years. From the past experiences, I can say in the subject of economics, there are certain chapters which are way easier for the students, right? They learn it in the once or twice. But there are certain chapters for that they require the repetitive practices. This is the chapter one of that will require the repetitive practices so that you can learn it well, right? I would suggest you that if you don't get any concept in this whole chapter, in all of the sessions of this chapter, wherever you don't get the concepts very well, you can pause the video, you can rewind it and watch it once. But please be sure that you are through each and every terms used in this chapter because there are too many internal questions will be asked from this chapter. The board people can set the questions from any portion of this chapter, right? So it is full of the questions. There are varieties of the question can be formed out of this. That's why I would suggest you to pay proper attention while you are learning this. Okay, now in this chapter also there are two parts. The first part will be learned what is banking, right? How did it come into existence? Other than that, what is the meaning of the bank? What are the types of the bank? Afterwards, we are going to understand what is the monetary policy. So over here in this session, we are going to understand how did the bank came into existence. That means the evolution of the bank and the meaning of the bank. What is the proper meaning of bank, right? So let's start. We all know what is bank. All of us know what is bank. We do many transactions with the bank only. The people who are salaried people, that means who are the employees of a particular firm, right, who are doing job, they are getting their salaries in the bank account. The businessmen, they are opening the bank account to run their financial transactions for the business, right? Even you, whenever you are supposed to pay the fees of the school or make the payment, right, your parents give you the check and you are passing this check to the required people, right, and those people accept that, right? You are not paying cash, you are giving the check and the check is accepted and your monetary transaction is done. These all transactions are the part of the banking system right now. Whatever you want to buy, you are not supposed to use the hard cash all the time. You can do that by passing on the checks. So all I want to say is we all know what is bank, but we all don't know what is the actual and exact meaning of bank, and that's we are going to understand in this chapter. So let's start with the evolution of the bank. That how did the word bank originated? How did the word bank originated? In English language, the meaning of the word bank is the heap or the mass, or as we can say the quantity, right? We can say the quantity, that is the meaning of the word bank in English. Related to English, there is one more word in Sanskrit which is known as bhand. The bhand word, the meaning of the bhand word is the quantity of capital, right? It is the capital or it is a fund. When we understood the introduction to the Desinama system in the 11th standard, in normally double entry system you used to write capital account, but in Desinama system it was written Bandol account, right? The Bandol is the word derived from this word bhand, right? Besides than that, there are two more words. One word from Italy and one word is from French. From the Italy, there is a word that is banca, B-A-N-C-A. From that, the English word bank is originated. And in French, there is a word banque, B-A-N-Q-U-E, from which the English bank word is originated. These all words are similar to each other. That's why we can say that somewhere from these all words only the bank word originated. There is one more story in this. In the ancient European Empire, the people who were dealing with the money, right, that means the money lenders, they used to transfer the money over the bench. They used to transfer the money over the bench. That means they are having the bench nearby them, they are sitting next to it, and all the financial transactions were being done through over the bench. So from that also the word bank originated, it is said. So now we all know how did the word bank originated. Now let's talk about how did the bank originated. Many times in the examinations, in the internal examinations and board examinations, right, in MCQs or answering one sentence, this question is asked: which was the first bank in the world? Or else, when did the first bank in the world established? Or else, where was the first bank in the world? Everywhere there is same answer. The first bank in the world was Bank of Barcelona, that was in Spain, and it was established in 1401. That means after the monetary transactions took place, after the money was evaluated. When in economy, money took too much importance. The barter system was quite ended, right? Nobody was using barter trade. Everybody came to the level of the transaction of money. Everybody was using money as a medium of exchange, right? And as the measurement of value. Everywhere the money was universally accepted and the money was used very well. After the money came into existence, there was one more problem. That means there was one function, that is money was used as the storage of value too, that we learned in the previous chapter, right? But due to that, the problem also arises to store that money, then how to save it. Say for example, a person is doing too many transactions, right? So due to those transactions, he is having too much money, too much hard cash in his hand. Then how is that person able to store them? It might be stolen, it might be destroyed, it might be distorted, anything could happen. So that's how, due to this necessity, the bank originated, right? And it is saying that necessity is the mother of invention. It was the necessity to store the money and the bank was invented, right? So guys, now we know that how the word bank originated and how did the bank start, right? Alongside, don't forget the first bank was established in Spain, that was in 1401, and the name of the bank was Bank of Barcelona. That was the first bank around the world. So now we know how did the word bank originated and how did the bank started. Now let's understand the meaning of the bank. In the simple terms, we can say a bank is that institution which provides services of banking. Whichever institution is providing the banking services means the transactions related to money, right? So all the firms which are providing the financial services and banking services, they are known as a bank. That's the first basic meaning. The second meaning is quite brief than that, and that is a bank is an institution authorized to collect people's savings or deposits with the purpose of lending those under the condition of returning the same when the depositor demands. I would like to repeat it once more. A bank is an institution authorized to collect people's savings or deposits with the purpose of lending those under the condition of returning the same when the depositor demands. Say for example, a person is having the excess money, right? Say for example, I have saved 1000 rupees from my routine expenses. So I will give those money to bank, and there will be the precondition that whenever I will demand, the bank will pay that money to me, right? I am giving my money to bank to save it, bank will save it, and whenever it is demanded by me, bank will give it back to me, right? But after I deposit that money to the bank, bank is not just going to save it. It is not just going to be saved. What would bank do? Bank will give my money as a loan to someone else. Bank will lend my money as a loan to someone else. And in reward of that, bank will receive some good interest. After the bank receives the interest, the bank will give me a small portion of the interest as a profit, and that we can say the interest on the deposits. So bank will use my money to lend to others, and with the condition that whenever I ask bank to give my money back, bank will pay me, right? And bank will earn the amount of interest, and from that portion bank will give me some part, so that I can say I am getting good return on my investment too. That is the second meaning. And now the third meaning, and that is a bank is a commercial organization functioning for profit. A bank is a commercial organization functioning for profit which accepts people's saving, in the form of deposits and pays interest in return. It ensures the safety of these deposits, lends money from those deposits to people who need money by charging them the interest, and invests the surplus funds in various sectors for development of the nation. So bank is an institution which will do certain activities. At first, the bank will accept people's deposits. With keeping in mind the security of those deposits, banks are going to lend that money to the people who need, and bank will charge them the interest. Bank will receive the interest and money back, and from that interest bank will pay some interest to the money depositors too. And after these all transactions, whatever the money which is surplus to the bank, bank will invest those money to the development of the nation. That means to the various sectors where the national development is required. So bank will do three main activities. At first, bank will accept your deposits and pay you interest. Bank will lend money to needy people and receive the interest. And the third is bank will invest the surplus amount for the development of the economy in the particular nation. So these are the basic meanings of the bank. I hope these are clear to you. So in short, we can say banks are the institution which are making money mobilized. When the money is stored at one place, when the money is stagnant, the money is not being mobilized, at that time there is the high risk that money will be devalued, the money will lose the value. If you keep money rotating, the money will make the value itself. Say for example, you have 1000 rupees and you put it in your pocket, it is going to be 1000 only. Right? And when the inflation increases, definitely the value of that money is going to get decreased. That we understood in last chapter. But when you put that money into bank, right, then bank will give you certain 4 to 6% interest. That is the current interest rate right now. So after a year of your 1000 rupees, right, that will be 1040 or 1060. Okay. If you put that money, if you invest that money to somewhere where there is a high return, right, you invest into the business or somewhat, then it can give you the return of 10% to 20, 30, 50. So it can bring you 1100 rupees back after 1 year, 1500 rupees back after 1 year, depend on the profitability of the business where you invested. Right. So what happened? If you put the money just in your pocket, if the money is stable somewhere, the money will devalue itself. But if that money is used somewhere else, if the money has been rotated multiple times, the money will bring you more value. And that is the mobilization activity which is done by the banks. So guys, this was the meaning of the bank, and this was the situation how the bank originated, right? We call it as the evolution and the meaning of the bank. We are keeping our session up to now. In tomorrow's session, we are going to understand the classification of banks, from which we will talk about the commercial bank. Right? Till then, again I am saying that please be careful while you are studying this chapter. Give proper attention. Okay. I'll see you in the next session with new topic. Till then, keep making notes. Stay home. Stay safe. Goodbye. Have a nice time.